Thank you, sir. The Indian Railways is the fourth largest railway network in the world, carrying nearly 23 million travelers every day. It is also the eighth largest employer, and it has more than 13 lakh employees as of March 2017. While the railway revenues for 2019-20 is estimated to increase by 10%, the total expenditure for 2019-20 is also projected to increase by 9%. The major expenditure under the railways are salaries, pensions, fuel, leases, whereas the budget allocated for new lines is only 7,255 crores. It was proposed as a part of the budget speech that the railway infrastructure would need an investment of 50 lakh crores between 2018-2030. Public-private partnership has been proposed to unleash faster development and delivery of passenger and freight services. According to this government, the solution for everything is privatization. The railways is also, we have to remember that the railways is also one of the largest networks, and till today it has been managed by the government single-handedly and successfully. And to propose, and now they brought this proposal to allow PPP and private investment into the railways. I'd like to bring to the notice of the ministry through you that in 2015, the Committee on Restructuring Railways has observed that in the railways, accounting is neither scientific nor accurate. So when there is so much confusion when it comes to accounting, why would any private company want to invest when they want a clear roadmap about where their investment is going, what they are going to profit out of it? They want a clarity about this. When there's no clarity and the accounting is not very clear, why would any private investor want to come and take up this partnership? And according to you, the railways has to become a profit-making company, an organization, but it's making losses. Why will any private player, what is the incentive for them to come and become part of this loss-making enterprise? And I would like to ask, who is going to compensate them? Whether the central government will be compensating the cost for the private player, or will the passengers have to be bearing the burden of this? And the PPP model is seen as a vehicle for development. But unfortunately, even during the last budget, a grand announcement that the PPP will generate 6 lakh crores of investment was made. But ultimately, there was no offer from private or multinationals. Our own government, PSU, LIC, was finally approached for 1.2 lakh crores as loan. And the railways hasn't been able to even utilize the 30,000 crore loan which the LIC has given to them. Allocation of funds towards Depreciation Reserve Fund, DRF, allows the ministry to finance cost of new assets replacing old ones. But the appropriation for the same has decreased significantly over the years. Further, railway contribution towards the new safety fund known as National Railway Safety Fund, Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh, was entirely taken from the DRF fund, therefore disallowing the replacement of and repair of the depreciating assets, which would only lead to compromise in the quality of performance of the assets. And I don't know whether in this house we can quote the economic survey anymore, but still I would like, no, because the government has distanced itself clearly from the economic survey, but still, I would like to quote it. The economic survey has observed that there has been an increase in fire accidents. So this being the case, I think we have to really look at replacing depreciating assets, and we cannot take it very lightly. And one more thing I'd like to slightly digress from what I was trying to say. The name of this scheme, Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh. I had to do a lot of homework to understand what this means. This government has taken up that every scheme, every program will be only named in Hindi. I'd like to ask you, how will a villager, even in my own district, Thoothukudi, understand what this is? I've seen signboards in Thoothukudi saying, Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana. I don't understand what is it. And there's no translation in English or in the regional language. And this has been your attitude towards everything. And it also includes the railway boards. You have to understand, when you are there to serve the people, you have to make sure that the scheme or the name boards, everything is easy for the people to understand and decipher what it is about. So it is very important that the names, signboards and station details are in regional languages, understandable to the people from the state. And this government has decided to combine the budgets and do away with the rail budget. We all know people were always eagerly waiting for the rail budget as much as the budget, to understand what their state is getting, what is coming to their district, what trains are available to them, and what are the extensions and what are the new projects. But all that has been done away with. Now the common man and woman is struggling to understand and find out details about what new announcements and projects which are coming. And in Tamil, we have a proverb, Pon vaikira edathila poo vaikanum. I think the minister understands it. When you cannot afford to keep gold, then you can keep a flower in its place. I think this government has taken it literally, and especially when it comes to the Southern Railways. The Southern Railway projected its demand under various plan heads, seeking an allocation of rupees 5,312 crores. Unfortunately, only 4,020 crores was granted, which shows that there is a wide gap of over 1,291 crores, which will totally disrupt the execution of the projects. And a very important new line between Sriperumbudur, Guduvancheri, sanctioned in the last budget at a cost of 839 crores, is given only a token of, this is not even flower, sir, only 10 crores. Where is 839 crores and where is 10 crores, and how can you even start a project with this? The Southern Railway's proposal for gauge conversion has also been ignored, as only 245 crores was sanctioned against the demand of 424 crores. The railways, the most affordable means of transport for the economically underprivileged today, is losing its patronage, and especially in the non-suburban section, the second-class passengers number has fallen about 61 million in 2018-19 when compared to 17-18. There is stiff competition from the buses, road transport and the airways. But the railways is not really getting its act together and do anything about that, and most of its freight depends on coal. More than 40% of it is coal. They have not looked into bringing other kinds of cargo for the railways, and transporting smaller packages and containers. All that has not been explored, but they think the private investment is the only answer for everything. The experience of the PSU banks, BSNL and other PSUs should be a case study for the Government of India, but unfortunately it's giving a 100-day plan to corporatize modern coach factory in Raebareli and production units like ICF Chennai and RCF in Kerala. The integral coach factory founded in Chennai has generated direct employment to 10 to 12,000 employees and indirect employment to 30,000 people who live around and are engaged in small-scale industries around Chennai city. Since its inception, in 2019, the production of ICF exceeded double the capacity. The train 18, and I think the honorable member, the BJP also mentioned it, has claimed that the same, by the same railway minister as a success story of Make in India was produced at ICF at a cost of 100 crores, whereas multinationals globally produce it at a cost of 250 crores. So this is a real success story by the ICF. But does the government really want to pay 250 crores to a foreign company, a foreign national, whereas we can do it for 100 crores within India? Is this what you mean by Make in India? And I'd like to tell the government that any attempt to corporatize, privatize ICF, Indian Railway or the Salem Steel Plant will be resisted by the people of Tamil Nadu, the DMK and my leader MK Stalin. So, there is a long-standing demand for the creation of a new division in Southern Railways, which at present consists of 6 divisions: Chennai, Tiruchi, Salem, Madurai, Palakkad, Thiruvananthapuram. And from...
Whenever a member speaks, please don't cross the member, please.
Pardon?
No, I'm talking to you.
Okay. Salem, and after the division in Salem has been created, there is no development there. And the MP from there has categorically asked me to mention it to you here. A new division comprising of Thoothukudi, Tirunelveli, Kanyakumari and some parts of Thiruvananthapuram division, which falls in Tamil Nadu, must be created in Tirunelveli. During the budget 2008-2009, the railway minister sanctioned survey for construction of new broad gauge line between Karaikudi, Kanyakumari via Ramanathapuram, Thoothukudi, Tiruchendur along the eastern coast. Subsequently, a survey was conducted for the length of 462.47 kilometers and the report has been submitted to the Railway Board in 2011. But the issue is still under examination. I urge the ministry to revive the project. Same way, there are 12 projects which are stalled and have to be revived in Tamil Nadu, and I request the ministry to rename the Erode railway station as Thandai Periyar railway station.
Now please conclude.
And I'd like to talk about my constituency, Thoothukudi. At present, there is only one express running between state capital Chennai to Thoothukudi. Introducing a new daily express train between Chennai, Thoothukudi via Tanjavur, Kumbakonam, Mayiladurai will ease passenger traffic in this route. Extension of the intercity weekly Madurai, Mumbai Lokmanya Tilak Terminus Express till Thoothukudi and also intercity Palaruvi Express, which currently runs between Palakkad, Tirunelveli to Thoothukudi, will help the people. And when we talk about apprenticeship, the Union Minister for Finance, while delivering budget speech on July 5th, 2019, mentioned about giving importance to schemes like National Apprentice Promotion Scheme. Currently, around 25,000 young people who completed this course, apprenticeship course, have not been provided with employment, and sadly, they join the more than crores of young people who are unemployed in this country, waiting for the Achedin to come.
Yes.
So, accessible railway stations. 2016, this government had announced stations that will be made accessible to all. Halfway into 19, there are neither ramps at all junctures or battery cars to approach coaches that are reserved for the differently abled. And the reserved coaches are often used by others who obstruct the entry and exit of the specially abled. So we have to understand that it is their right
Yes,
We are
please.
not doing charity to the differently able
The
people.
last point, please wind up.
Just
No. They have ample time. They have ample time.
Sir, they always have ample time. I think it is
Yeah.
we who are being suppressed, and at least you should understand that.
Please conclude.
Sir, and one thing, it's not important whether the railways are modernized. If we have Wi-Fi in the railway, we have bullet trains, I think that is immaterial. What every member here, I'm not blaming anybody, but every member here has to be ashamed of is that railway still employs manual scavengers. We have to be ashamed of it. They might deny it. They've denied it before. They have said that railways do not directly employ manual scavengers, but it is done through contractual labor. Just because you want them to be invisible, they are not invisible.
Thank you.
More than 95,000 people are employed as cleaners, and they work as manual scavengers, and it is a shame to this nation to continue this. And there are no rights, no gear to protect them. And one more thing, that is my last point, sir.
Yep.
We are talking about railway safety, which is a concern to all of us here. I think the safety of the passengers inside the trains are also becoming a concern.
Yes.
28th June 2019, 17-year-old Hafiz Mohammed Niaz, a student...
No, please, don't go to the exam.
So 1 minute. A student was abused, assaulted, stripped inside a passenger train in Sambal district by some youngsters, and he was thrown out of the train. In 24 June 2019, Hafiz Haldar, a 26-year-old, had been going to Hooghly, and a group of people were chanting Jai Ram, and he was forced to chant the same. But when he refused, he was beaten up, and they threw him out of the station. 22 June 2017, Junaid Khan, a 14-year-old, was harassed, lynched, and fatally stabbed when he was returning from Delhi. Sir, and one more thing, this government is very keen on protecting... 1 minute, sir. This government is very keen on protecting Muslim women, our Muslim sisters, so I'd like to mention this also. On 26 June 2016, 2 Muslim women were thrashed and abused by Hindu activists in Madhya Pradesh because it was rumored that they were carrying beads. The women were slapped, kicked, in the railway station. Sir,
please conclude. You don't go for all the examples. You just conclude.
1 minute, sir.
Oh, please.
So 1 minute. Just one. Sir, if the
safety has to be maintained.
Yes, safety is important, not just for the trains. The people inside the coaches should be safe.
Thank you.
And I really like to reiterate that railway safety is not the only concern. I think everybody in this country should feel, the disabled, the unemployed, and the minorities should feel safe, and that they